I want to talk a little bit about desire. When you want something, you have to be able to ask for what you want, show up to receive what you want, and be open to something better being available. It's really it. But more often than not, I will see people not asking for the thing that they want. Asking for the thing that they want, but not showing up to receive it. Or asking for what they want, showing up to receive it, but not being open to the opportunity of something better being available. And this is where entitlement patterns love to flourish. Because if you don't ask for your desire, you ultimately feel entitled to never having your desire. You feel like your desire is so far away from you that you're entitled to feel disappointed, angry, upset, disconnected from yourself because, well, you're never going to have the thing you want, but you didn't ask for it. So how could you ever have the thing that you want? Entitlement pattern number 2 is really sneaky because it adds this really beautiful lens of I asked for what I wanted, but did you show up to receive it? See, this is the part where it gets sticky because if you ask the universe for what you want, you simultaneously have to create the avenues for the universe to pay you that thing. Like it doesn't work for you to be like, oh, well, I desire to win the Super Bowl and then you never play football, let alone go for the draft, let alone get on a team, let alone work really hard to have the team win. It becomes entitled because you're not willing to show up in a way that allows that desire to become real. So ultimately, you become entitled to receive the thing that you asked for, but fail to recognize where you're not actually showing up to sign for the package you requested. Now, the third entitlement pattern is also fascinating because it says, I asked for what I wanted, I showed up to receive it, but now I'm closed off from something better being available to me. Okay, so this one is fascinating and simultaneously fucking irritating because it actually requires like a spiritual arrogance to it to be able to say, I asked for what I wanted, I showed up to receive it, and I am not okay with any deviation from what I asked for because my mind is so superior that I've already thought of the desire that is absolutely the best. And there isn't anything better than that. See, our minds are totally limited in our ability to ideate or think of the infinite possibilities. It is literally infinite. And so rather than saying that I asked for what I wanted, and I was so specific that I got rigid, but I didn't show up for it. Or I asked for what I wanted and I showed up to receive it, but now I'm not open to that outcome changing. The only thing we can actually do is saying, okay, my mind is limited. And so the max that I can think of right now is this XYZ desire. So I'm going to ask for it. And I'm going to be responsible for that desire by showing up in the ways that would allow me to receive said desire. But I also know that the limitation in my ability to create that desire, to say that desire, doesn't mean that that's the desire I'm going to get. I'm always going to get at least the thing I can think of or something infinitely better. So if you're in the process of looking at where your entitlement patterns are actually destroying your ability to receive the life you actually want, look at where you're not doing any of those 3 things, where you're not asking for what you actually desire, where you're not showing up for that desire to be fulfilled, and where you are totally rigid from that desire changing and evolving to something better than you could imagine. That's it. It's really it. And the reason why those patterns are frustrating is because I can see it more often than not. And people will be desiring something, I can feel it, but I don't know what it is that they desire. And I actually have the thing they desire, but they won't show up to receive it. They won't ask for it. And they're so specific about the thing that they think they want, they're not even open to it being better than they could imagine. It's a rough life out there, guys. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.